So when we say a great business should avoid debt, it makes sense to know what is debt, right? So Investopedia defines debt as follows. Debt is an amount of money borrowed by one party from another and is used by many corporations and individuals as a method of making large purchases that they could not afford under normal circumstances. So when you look at personal debt, that is what you take as an individual when you buy a house or a car or for your higher education, and you or your family do not have sufficient cash flow to meet it on your own. So you basically resort to a debt. Similarly, in case of corporations or businesses, when a business is undergoing a large capital expenditure to grow their business, if their internal accruals are not enough to service those capex plan, they resort to debt, right? What does Warren Buffett tells on personal debt? He tells it would be just it would always be a good idea to just not look at debt. If you can avoid debt, that there is nothing like that. And Warren Buffett's partner and vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, Mr. Charlie Munger, says something even better. He says there is only one way to make sure that you don't get in the problems of debt is to avoid it at the first instance. Once you get into that debt trap, it is very difficult to come out, right? What he talks about in case of corporate debt, he says that once a corporate or a business house is using a lot of debt, even though they continue to serve it well, they somehow manage to make the payment or repay the debt over time. But any short period of shock, any external or internal shock, would cause a conventional debt ratio to produce a result falling somewhere between temporary anguish and default. And that is what he says, that in most such cases, leverage just moves things along faster. And Warren Buffett is not in a hurry to make things work for him. As you all know, he has spent decades to create wealth for his company and his shareholders. And that is what he looks for his investment ideas as well, right? And another point, significant point, which he mentions is, even if your company is doing really well, and even if your company is doing really well, but if you have a debt on your balance sheet, one particular incident can make you suffer a lot. So that is why it is always advantageous, or the best way to go about is to not look for debt at all. So if you go to the screener and if you just type consistent compounder, you will get, we have made a screener by the we have made a screen by the name consistent compounders. You will see it in the screener. We have also attached the I'll just Karan, if you can put it on the chat box, the link of the consistent compounders and also the subsequent ones, so that anyone can check on their side. So what we have done in this consistent compounder screen, we have put in the usual metrics like businesses which have ROE of more than 18%, market cap of more than 1,000 crore, because we don't want to look at companies which have a very small history or very small scale of operation. 10 years of sales growth, CAGR. Similarly, profit growth of more than 10% for the last 10 years. And debt should be less than 0.5. So when you run a screener like this, you get this. You will get 69 companies which are forming part of consistent compounders. Okay. And if you just look at some of the names and look at their valuation today, you will be having a difficult time to look at them as investment options, because primarily, even though they are all good businesses, in fact, most of them are great businesses, something like a Pidilite or Asian Paints. But what what makes you hesitant to go and buy them today at this juncture is their high valuation, right?